Shalom. I'm Rabbi Davidovich, speaking to you on behalf of the webyeshiva.org, speaking to you from Efrat, Israel. Those of you that may have been listening a few minutes ago when I started this year, I apologize. My internet dropped out, and therefore I'm starting it again. This Parsha is Parsha Korach in Eretz Yisrael. The rest of the world is a week behind. They're in Parsha Shalach. And I'll mention Parsha Shalach during the course of this discussion. Parshas Korach is about the rebellion of Korach. The rebellion of Korach against Moshe Rabbeinu, against Moses. And really, it wasn't a rebellion only against Moses, but it was against God. Because God chose Moses to lead the people. And Korach thought he's better suited to lead the people. The title that I've chosen for this particular discussion is Being Blueish is Not Enough to Live a Holy Life. Let's talk about this. First of all, Korach and his 250 followers came before Moshe, and he wanted to ridicule Moshe. And he wanted to show Moshe that he really isn't fitting to be the leader. And he stood before him with all these people, 250 people, dressed completely in blue. And he asked them a question. He said, Moshe Rabbeinu, last week we were commanded in the third parsha of the Shema about the mitzvah of tzitzit. Tzitzit we have to wear on the fringes and the corners of our garment, we have to wear fringes. And each one of these 4 fringes has to have a blue thread, techelet, to make it kosher and to make it holy. Now we're sitting here completely dressed in blue. Do we need to have a blue thread on a garment besides this? This should be enough. And of course, he was mocking Moshe Rabbeinu in doing this. And Moshe said, yes, of course you need it. What did Korach want? Korach really felt that he should be the leader of the Jewish people, not Moshe. And he said to Moshe, he says, look, just like this blue garment we're wearing is certainly holy and holier than just one string of techelet of blue, we're all holy. So since we're all holy, why should you be the leader? And of course, Korach, because of this attempted rebellion, suffered a great punishment. Now, this parsha and the previous 2 parshas, Parsha of Beha'alotcha and Shalach, they typify what is said in Pirkey Avot. And in Pirkey Avot, it says that Hakina v'hatava v'hakavod motziin es adam min ha'olam. Jealousy, desire, unbridled desire for material things, and pursuit of honor, of glory, drive a person from this world. And we see it in Parsha Beha'alotcha. Beha'alotcha, the people, they're the mitonanim. They were complaining. They were complaining because we don't have any meat. We want meat. Well, that's kind of a silly complaint when you think of the fact that they were eating the manna. And the manna, the sages tell us, tasted like whatever you wanted it to taste. But they were complaining that, no, that isn't enough. We want to have a desire. We want to have a desire for that. And as the Nativot Shalom points out, that this desire, the desire to have desire, he says, hefach miderech haTorah. That's just opposite of the way of the Torah. Shehudi tzorech l'chapesh derachim eich l'pater min hatavos. The way that we try to be Jews and try to improve ourselves is to rise above our material temptations. So because of that, they were punished. So that's one of the 3 things. That's the pursuit of desire, taiva. Parsha Shalach, which is the Parsha of the Meraglim, of the spies, what happened here? You had 12 spies sent to spy out the land. 10 of them came back with saying all kinds of bad things about Eretz Yisrael, to try to convince the people not to go. Don't go into Eretz Yisrael. What was their motive? So the sages tell us that their motive was seeking their own honor, because they thought, look, we're in the desert now. We're the leaders of our tribes. And if we go into Eretz Yisrael, we're going to be like everybody else. We don't want to lose this. So this was the pursuit of kavod, the pursuit of honor. They were also punished. As we know, they all died in the next 40 years in the desert. Now we come to Korach. Korach is rebelling because he's jealous. So this is the third part of this, the part of kina, the jealousy of Korach towards Moshe is what causes the horrible punishment that he had. All these three things take a person out of the world. Now, as I mentioned, the last Parsha, Shalach, had the mitzvah of tzitzit, mitzvah of wearing fringes on the four corners of your garment. You look at the entire Shema, the last Parsha had the third paragraph, but the Shema has three paragraphs. The first is Shema Yisrael, Hashem Elokeinu, Hashem Echad. Hear, O Israel, the Lord, our God, the Lord is one. V'ahavta Hashem Elokecha. You should love the Lord your God, and so on. The first Parsha is about the love of God by people of Israel. We love God, and we know that whatever God does is good, and we accept everything because we know it comes from love. The second Parsha, V'hoyo im Shemoah, says, okay, if we listen to God, things are going to go well for us. If we don't, they won't go so well. But we know that, okay, we've got to do something. Love isn't enough. We don't have the emunah to have just love. So we need to recognize that if we do something, God will repay us with good things. That's the second part. The third, tzitzis, contains the words, Lo sasuru achrei levavechem v'achrei einechem. You shouldn't run after the desires of your heart and your eyes to do improper things. That's a warning to us, a constant reminder that we can't follow just what our hearts and eyes desire. We have to look for a higher thing. And our leaders, according to Korach, he said, we don't need leaders to make us holy because we're all holy already. And he says, we don't need you, Moshe, to be a constant reminder for us to not go after our hearts and minds and our eyes because we're already holy. And therefore, if we're holy, we can't do anything wrong. But the Shema teaches us that Korach was wrong. And we have these three parshas that I mentioned refer to the three types of Jews. The first parsha, first paragraph of the Shema, where you love God, refers to the tzaddikim, those righteous people. The second are those who, in the middle, yes, we know we have to serve God. If we serve God, we'll get rewarded. And the third is telling us we need a little help. We need help. And that's the third paragraph. Don't go after your heart and your soul. Korach felt that because of the blue clothes he was wearing, that would be enough. He was holy enough. And what we are talking about here in the name of Osver Rebbe is that it's not enough to be bluish to live a holy life. It's more than the garment that you wear. It's how you conduct your life. Thank you for listening on behalf of the Web Yeshiva. I wish everybody a wonderful and safe Shabbat and healthy Shabbat. And we'll talk to you, God willing, next week. Shabbat Shalom.